So Hux. So apparently there's a running joke or a gag in the movie where Chancellor Hux is obsessed with the Force, and he's trying to find a way to learn the Force and everything this. So, like, he's trying to compete with Kylo Ren and probably maybe wants to take him down, things like that. So the other thing that he's taken up is he's been looking into, kind of similar to Kylo Ren in Jedi or in Force Awakens, he's looking into Jedi and Sith artifacts, and he's collecting them. And apparently he collects a lightsaber, and at one point I think he's showing it off or something. He ignites it. Or maybe he doesn't. I don't know. So I'll take that part. But so the First Order is falling around him at the end of the movie. They're all going to crap. And it's almost like who's that guy in Pirates of the Caribbean when it's all over? He just, in World's End, he realizes it's done.
Cutler Beckett?
Yeah, Beckett. And he just walks on the ship. So he kind of has this moment where he realizes they're losing. There's no hope. So he takes his lightsaber and he sabukus himself. You know what that is?
Oh, yeah.
So he does that, and when he turns it on, it's a purple lightsaber.
Oh, no way.
That's Mace Windu's lightsaber. So what do you think about that?
That would have been pretty spicy. I mean, if it was the handle, the same hilt with the gold like trims on it, that would have been super cool. I think that would have riled up a lot of fans.
100%. What do you feel about him having this obsession with the Force and being kind of this like collector of things in this role? Because I personally, I liked the spy twist, but again, I would have preferred this as far as I like that actor. So I would have liked him being more evil, and I don't know, I'd have to see on screen the idea of, because it's been described as a running gag. I have in my mind of Domhnall Gleeson like trying to like force push and it being nothing. That I think could be a lame joke.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, see, you would like that, but for me, like I'd have to see that on screen to see if it would work. But the other stuff sounds good. So how do you feel about kind of? He's a bit more Force Awakens evilish. He's an artifact collector and he's obsessed with the Force now.
So, to me personally, I love Star Wars collectors in the universe. Now I fucking love it.
That would be
you
if you were
that would be me. I'd be collecting artifacts, and one of my favorite things in Solo is Dryden Voss's collection room with the Sith holocron, the lightsabers, and everything. Like I love that stuff, and even then, Palpatine's got his own private collection of
and
stuff.
And Kylo Ren did too, right? Because
he did too.
And that's
yeah.
how like. Kylo Ren. JJ described him in the press for Force Awakens that he was like a fanboy and he was always trying to find these artifacts. Obviously, he had Vader's helmet. We saw in Rise of Skywalker he had some other things that we didn't know. So I'm with you. I love same thing. That's why I love the Bat Cave. Batman has all this shit like he has a giant coin. It's just like, why is he keeping this? He doesn't need this, but it's my trophies. It's like, all right, you sick fuck.
Yeah, no, I'm a sucker for that. That's again why I get the visual dictionaries because I love reading up all the artifacts. Like Last Jedi, Luke had all these artifacts in his little hut. It's just juicy stuff. So to know Hux had, Mace Windu's lightsaber and all these Sith little trinkets and stuff like that just sounds so good. And sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, what do you think a character? Because obviously it's 3 different directors, so it always changes. But just put in the shoes. Rise of Skywalker doesn't exist. We have episodes 7 and 8. Why do you think Hux would all of a sudden? Not all of a sudden. There could have been some time past, but why do you think he would have took on collecting things? Because that wasn't introduced in other movies, right? So.
He probably wasn't really able to with Snoke around. Because with Snoke around, he's kind of keeping him as what was his rank? General Hux. So if Snoke's gone and Kylo Ren is popping off doing his own thing, he could retreat to be his own chancellor and governor of whatever he wants, just self-proclaimed title. And I like the idea of him being more evil and just being obsessed with Force stuff, that because he could probably take on Kylo Ren,
or
and
he
probably never wanted to. He knew he could never take on Snoke, but Kylo Ren he could probably do in. So if he learned the Force, but that's impossible for him. So. Yeah, no, it's interesting, but I do enjoy that kind of storyline over the spy thing and him just getting killed by
so quickly. Yeah. And then the other thing we didn't talk about, but obviously you're a big fan of them going back to Coruscant and Mustafar. I like all that prequel plan stuff.
God, I would have loved it.
Mustafar, I know we went to. We didn't go there long enough. I know we've never talked about that, but this whole JJ cut, which is
release the JJ cut.
Probably not real. Calm down. But at least this one has potential more sourcing than a Reddit post. But they were on Mustafar in the opening, and apparently there's some people saying like there was a longer cut of that, which would have been great to see. But one, I've told Taylor, Mustafar was my number 1. I wanted to go back, so I would have liked more time there. But I think Coruscant, even a rundown Coruscant, that would have been so good to see. And I really wish we went to Coruscant, because to me that's the thing where even if Disney was worried about people think, oh, the prequels like that, they turn people off. the mainstream probably wouldn't put two. They'd say Coruscant, and eventually they'd be like, "Oh, that was that planet in that movie." Like they wouldn't care. Like most of the stuff sounds pretty inside baseball for us. So I think it was handled the right way as far as stuff I've seen potentially in this. So
yeah, Mustafar, I love that planet. I loved it in Rogue One, and I wish that we got Vader's castle in Rise of Skywalker just broken down and remains, but. I love that they would have had it in this version of it as well. And Coruscant, that's absolutely like a no-brainer. I'd want to see you run down Coruscant
and
with
seeing Kylo
Slimos.
Ren on Coruscant too, because we've talked about. I didn't get that, but I always thought a good idea was putting him on Tatooine because of the history. Coruscant's the same thing. Like that's where all those younglings got killed. That's technically was that where Luke and they were born on Coruscant? Then they moved.
No, they were born on Polis Massa.
Okay. So, but even then, like Padme was pregnant with like her, his like mom and uncle and stuff like that. So there's still history there too, and I think just the scenery of that, and that's the one fun thing about like games like Battlefront 2, where you get to see prequel characters in different locations, OG characters, vice versa. So I think that would have been lots of fun to return to some of those plans. So I think that's a missed opportunity there.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's probably like for a Jedi to go on Coruscant would be nuts because that's where like thousands of Jedi were massacred.
100%,
that would have some serious feels for any Jedi patrolling the streets there. So, and you said that Rey was there as a Tusken Raider?
No, I think that was earlier when they were stealing. Apparently, they go to that planet.
Kuat.
Yeah, the planet in Jedi Fallen Order where they're building... No. I think we're talking about different things. The planet in Jedi Fallen Order with Cal where they build all the Death Stars. You know that planet, though, in Jedi
Fallen Order at the beginning when they're disassembling the...
Yeah. So apparently...
I read that it was the Kuat shipyards.
Oh, yeah, maybe it is.
Because the Kuat shipyards... Is that not
where Cal is?
No, that's a different planet.
Then I was misinformed because someone said that it was the same planet as
no. I don't think so, unless they didn't say what the planet was. No, I'll have to look into that. Kuat Shipyards is like an older, like canon planet from Star Wars where they would like pump out Star Destroyers and all these cool like ships.
Apparently that's where they were, and that's where I guess she was as a Tusken Raider. So maybe same thing as Jawa was. They're not just exclusive to Tatooine. So Canon Boy has to.
I gotta look into it.
I have no. Well, he's looking into it. I'll answer the hyperbolic question and say, this could have been better? Sure. But like I said, there's lots of film stuff that happens. There's lots of script changes. Leia was in this a lot, talking with characters like Poe and Rey and even Kylo. That would have all changed because she passed away. But this does sound a bit more cohesive. There's some stuff that I'm not a big fan of at all. Like I said, Kylo and his redemption again, Kylo and his face, stuff like that. There's certain other beats, but there's certain beats like I talked about with Luke, like catching lights there. But there's beats like Luke haunting him. So that's where I wish, even with Rise of Skywalker, there was maybe like a mix of these. And even then, it sounds like lots of elements from this were taken. So I do actually really like some of this stuff in here. Again, you'd have to see it to film. We never will, but I can say that I do think some of this feels a bit more cohesive and a bit more better. And just for the sake of, at the end of the day, I really do love Palpatine. He's one of my favorite Star Wars characters, but we have Clone Wars, some of the OG children in the prequels. I liked having him back, but the way he was brought back and how much we've got of him, we didn't get exactly what I wanted and what I felt was necessary. I remember when we saw that trailer, that got us so excited when Palpatine called them my boy. But they didn't really have much conversation after that. They didn't talk about things. So if they really had some juicy, like, talking, like Palpatine views him as like a grandson-like figure, that would have been great. But Palpatine was just kind of an evil guy, right? That was just there to set up Rey. So that's why I do prefer this a bit more, just because I don't think we needed Palpatine. And I don't like the whole Kylo Ren's the main villain, then he just just dies at the end. So there's problems with it too. I don't think this is like, oh my God, we really missed out. This could have been the greatest. No, I think there's elements, same thing as Rise of Skywalker, that really work, and there's some that really, really don't work. And same thing in this movie. If this was filmed, maybe it would have been the exact same thing on film. It would not have worked. Like I said, if some of that dialogue stayed, to me, it felt very wooden and cheesy. So you got any? Are you still looking for your planet?
The planet in Fallen Order is called Braca.
Yeah.
But...
So I guess something is similar, which I hate that they do in Star Wars. It's like, look, another sand planet. Look, another this planet.
Well, Braca was definitely made, I think, after the fact, because Kuat is definitely an old planet. And I know that because it's in one of my Star Wars games. It's a planet I always take over to pump out Star Destroyers.
Wow, take over.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said Kuat, because it's a pretty canon planet. Oh, Tor Valon.
So what do you think about just on the whole? How did you feel about? Obviously, I just threw a lot at you of the potential first draft. What do you think about all of that and on the whole?
You know what fuck. It comes down to me. I think they could have taken that movie and done a two-parter. They could have done, this was Duel of Fates, and then part 2, Rise of Skywalker.
You wouldn't have got that. It would have been one or the other.
Well, I know. I wish though that we got 2 parts, because if you combine this with Rise of Skywalker, I think you have a pretty solid movie that could have blended very well together. I think you add in. It could have been messy too. It could have been messy. You add in like you could have Palpatine come back as the main bad guy and plant seeds in it in the Duel of Fates, and have Tor
Valon. Or just use Toro as the main bad guy. Or use
him,
him. I know it's almost like another Snoke Emperor type of person, but again, I'll ask you the hyperbolic question. Do you lean any towards, you've seen a movie and you've just seen like bullet points and major plot points of a script, so that's why you're not comparable, but do you lean anyway or whatnot, just for the fun of it?
Just for the fun of it, I lean towards this new script. Yeah. That being said, I love JJ's movie, and I do love what he did. I've seen it 3 times, and it's gotten better every single time I've seen it.
Your favorite of the trilogy too? You would take that away?
It's my favorite of the trilogy. Wow. Yeah, I'd be.
Is it really your favorite if you would erase it from history?
If I erased it from history and I had to, watch this new one, I feel like this new one could be great. But then I have Force Awakens to fall back on. But then again, I got my Rogue One, which is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time, so I'm safe.
Anything else to add on this, Taylor?
No, it just sucks. We're never going to see this movie ever exist.
Well, it sucks for some people. If you have no problems with Rise of Skywalker, it doesn't suck, And if you wanted Rey to be powerful, Palpatine, or connected, it doesn't suck. So I think it just talks to Star Wars fandom of, it depends where you are, right? It depends what you want, what you do. It's the same way lots of people that love Last Jedi hate Rise of Skywalker and vice versa. It's just because you're different fans. So I'm very much in the middle. I'm just hoping that we get something great next, whatever it is. So
hopefully some Coruscant in the prequel trilogy coming out.
It's not the same. Well, I guess it's not the same. I want to see
the High Republic.
Yeah, Taylor, where can they find us?
You can find us at the Internet Connection, ladies and gentlemen. Geek for Space podcast anywhere on the web. Especially check out Spreaker.com.
Especially shouting it already.
Oh yeah.
All the descriptions are down below for the video and audio. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to be doing Clone Wars Season 7 soon, and then also that we're going to be recording lots of Cantinas because we've been busy, but we got lots of stuff still to talk about. We got to talk about the High Republic. We're going to wait for that Kylo Ren comic to finish and do a whole retrospective on his Star Wars career. So until next time, it won't be boring, and may the Force be with you.
Always.